Almost got it back. Stop sharing. Entire screen. Enemy's got a little bit of ideas to try to compensate, but I'm going to kick the shit out of him right now. That's not the best. Boom. Queen takes. Knight takes. Rook go. No, because then I do lose my bishop, my dark bishop. So what I can do... That's kind of tempting too. I think that's probably fine. It's going to give us what we need at least. Because you can't use your knight. So if you want to take, you can use your rook. In the interim, I will then steal your horsey. You can have my bishop because your back rank will be weak. I'm about to fuck you up, dude. Musk lunge. Lunge. The hell's kind of name is that? I'm going to monitor you. Chess.com's going to give me a job on their fair play team. I'm going to be so thorough. You're suspicious. How do I flag you? All right, don't dick around, Dayton. Convert, 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 convert. Okay. And what I'm good for my level in online chess, which is why I think my speed chess numbers have gotten so good so quickly. I'm good at winning. I don't mean to be a prick. I mean, I'm serious. Minimizing damage, minimizing complications when I have a win, which usually means not making the best move in favor of simplifying. Now, an interesting idea would be there, I feel that would be fascinating. Because it would rid your queen from being an imminent danger. I like to say imminent. It sounds more intimidating. Though you can't really do that, because what I would then do, I would sack. Fine. And then you won't have time to take my knight. Doesn't matter that much. Matters very little. I mean, that's definitely the better move. Yeah, you're toast. Here's your queen. Okay, so then when your queen comes to check me, you can't take my bishop on d6. You're completely toast. Because your only check is there. I will defend with my bishop, forcing you to move. You don't have another check. And I have mate. So you just lose your queen. You can lose your queen. I won't tell you no. I'll allow it. But really, again, you did it to yourself because you have no other checks, right? Because my knight cover is there. Yeah, you're fucked. And my queen. Whichever way I want to do it. That was an incompetent game for 1926. Quite incompetent, actually. Now, if you're the enemy, and this situation is a bad example because you're completely fucked. It's human nature to say, how can I keep my queen on the board? How can I keep my queen? No, don't get mated and try to get something of mine. Accept the loss of the queen because your back rank is weak. I shouldn't even use this example because you're just so done and so sadly incompetent. I mean, the only move you can make is you have to go back. You have to. And then I'll probably go there. That's what I'm feeling like doing. Because if you take, then I will take, and then I will mate. After ba-boom, ba-boom. No, because your bishop. Okay, so you at least have some minor defenses against it, but it's not going to matter at all. So what I'm looking at. Oh, you made a move? What? How do you get to play chess? How are you allowed? Okay. So you still have no checks. You can have my rook. I'll win the game. I mean, the only legitimate move that I'm showing was there, in which case I would go here. The queen can't take, but then I would take. So if I kept going, I can't do that. Yeah, fine. Still covered. Yeah, my bishops are just going to protect my king way too nicely. And you, of course, still can't take due to the back rank. This would be a decent learning game if your back rank were more just shit weak. But I'm just going to demolish your pride along with your rating. Important when we're losing like this to give ourselves a luft. Give your king a luft in case you can get me to mess up, and because now even if I were to mess up, which I'm not going to mess up something this simple, you don't really have time to punish me because you still got to deal with your back rank. It should be fun. No, I have the back rank. Nova, don't be shaking the collar right now, babe. It's kind of important at the moment. Now, another good idea, not necessarily best practice or the right way to play, and it's more important when the opponent has a queen and we only have both rooks, which is generally a better situation. It still doesn't matter. Right with you, Noah. Where? Probably going there. Use the arrows, Dayton. Don't do that to yourself. Because you still have no checks, if I'm not mistaken. I'd be happy with a queen trade, of course. Kind of watch that. You can't go there. You have to, yeah. So I'll go here. Now my bishop is relieved. No. Whoops. My fault. Because I can just simply take the bishop. I should have just forced the queens off. My fault. Yeah. Give me. There's nothing tricky you can do. You don't have enough. You don't have enough to work with, bud. Your history. I'm the hot trend. Fine. Force them off. due to the pin. Get B to chess. I'll, of course, allow it. So the rook will block the king from helping. Also, my bishop can come in control due to the rook not supporting. So now, sure. So you will now be forced to give me that pawn, which I'll win with check should things go according to my expectations, which there's not a lot that could change here. Sure. Because my bishop would, of course, help out. There's simply nothing you can do. We'll just put it right there. Just to be a major bag about it. I'm not doing it this way. Believe me. Okay, back over 1900. Hello, Genuine. I'm a bit freaky if you don't mind. By the way, do you want to play with me? Yeah, assuming you're a member of the female species. We sometimes don't work out that well in relationships. So I'd prefer to stick to chess. Genuine. Unless you're joking. Get it? Because it says genuine on there. What's your user ID? Don't tease me. What's your user ID on chess.com? Don't tease me. It's my kryptonite. Made me think I'm about to get a nice long chess battle in. And I do prefer them long. Do you prefer them long? I'm going to get banned. But teasing me with chess is the equivalent of like showing up in a guy's bedroom naked after sending him naughty texts all day. And he's just like, wait, we're not doing anything? Like, no, it was just to mess with you. That would be the equivalent of telling me we're going to play chess and then either ghosting me or joining my stream and then leaving like you just did. You deserve to die alone. And even worse, you deserve to never have anyone play chess with you. And I don't wish that on my worst enemies, but I just did you. Okay, so we're 1907, 1907, 1935. My peak, 2007. That is my peak, 1907. Bullet, 1995. Let's admire it briefly. Okay. Okay, so 1907. Okay. I'm curious how many. It would be interesting to do a poll, and chess.com may have done something like this, or maybe it wouldn't be good to know. But to pull, I'm in America, so all the above a certain rating over the board athletes. So that have a certain number of games, let's say like 50, just so it's a fair sample size, and a good rating, which to me, it's not a good rating, but 1,400 is where you're not a joke. Hey, how many above 1,400 USCF players are on chess.com? And I bet it's a very good number, very, very good percentage. Because I want to know how legitimate that is. I mean, obviously, I'm not actually top 30,000th in the world or even top 100,000th in the world. But it's not bad. I'd like to know just how good it is. How many people are on chess.com? How many people are active? I'm sure I could pull some stuff myself if I really cared. And another good way is just to compare ourselves to people we know. So I know he's a master. I know he hasn't, didn't have the goal of continuing. Of course, it gets really hard at that level anyway. Not many people can continue past master. But just compare ourselves. It appears Jesse has not played Rapid much, if at all, lately. So his Rapid's 2610, Bullet 2649, Blitz 2610. So that'd be something to shoot for. That could be a very, 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 very long-term goal. And then what was his peak? So that puts him at roughly 16,000 at 2229. All players, he's 812 in America. What's his peak? Did it say his peak? Shit. He's inactive. Okay. Forgot how to make that my default. He's an honest man. So that is kind of strange for your USCF to be lower than your FIDE. That's usually not the case. So that's what it was. Last played in 2023. Two, 8. You call that his peak. Okay. So let's just. That's good enough. So FIDE is usually a little bit lower than USCF, but we're gonna not worry about that right now. Chess.com. What was it? Did I X out of that? No. Rapid. And what's your rapid beat, Jesse? Say 2610. This might be an awful example. Because why is your rapid and blitz the exact same? Your bullet not much different, but yeah, I'm not high enough rated to really compare myself in terms of like the distance between my over the board and chess.com numbers to masters. You might give a ballpark. But weirdo. I'm gonna actually interaction's great. That's cruel. That's cruel. The chess woman would never be so evil. They might beat me. Several would beat the shit out of me. But they would not ask me to play an over-the-board chess, or I mean an online chess battle or over the board. And then once I'm prepared and ready for battle, say, just kidding. Far too mature and classy. Chess women are top of the female food chain. All aspects of life. It was a very suspicious 1900 plus player. Very suspicious. And a testament to my statement, my bold statement. Yeah, your highest 1990, and you were terrible. My bold statement that anyone can be 1800, and more likely anyone, even with a family, taking kids to school and ball games, full-time job. I really think anyone could be 2000 with some effort over the course of 2 years. And I'm curious to put that to the test. We'll analyze that game, but first, I want to see who is trying to play chess with me. I never decline. Sure. Game already started, so does that mean that, why does it show me then chess.com? Does it mean it's their turn, I guess? Okay. Let's analyze our battle. I was going to do my routine, which is bullet, blitz, rapid, but I think I'm just going to be happy. I'm back over 1900 and all, and I'm not struggling much. So we'll analyze this and we'll sign out. We'll get some rest. I'm going to enjoy Christmas, so that means I'm going to try not to play too much, but I will definitely be live. Like to play. Okay, I see it. And this is a weakness, kind of a bad habit with online, which I'm telling you, I'm going to hit a wall and I will just start getting punished for mistakes like this. But I just win chess battles. That's why my over the board has been shitty lately, because I found ways to win online. That it doesn't mean they're the right ways to play. Because when they let me just break it down. I would be so good for chess business, because I'm certainly my rating is far more inflated online compared to my over the board, way more than almost anyone in the world. Because that's all I did during COVID. I never intended to play over the board at all, but I realized St. Louis has the nicest chess club in the world, and now I don't really want to play online anymore. But in the Sicilian, for some reason, maybe it's lower levels, maybe it happens at the top level, I haven't noticed it that much. It's tempting to castle long, especially when the queen develops to d2 as white. And then, of course, the risk, which is why king b1 is always a fine move, almost always, as long as you're not in danger or you don't have an attack. I often play, I believe it's called the Scheveningen, if I pronounce that correctly. I don't really know why. I think it's actually probably the least preferred of the four main variations of the open Sicilian defense. I believe the Najdorf is the most played at the top level. Then probably the classical. I would say next would be the dragon, and then the fourth would be what I often play. And I play it because online chess, it's not to say you can't play aggressive or have sharp lines and attack. It's to say err on the side of caution. Let the opponent mess up. They will. And I think that's the most conservative opening of the 4 open Sicilian lines. So anytime that can happen, now that bishop there, of course, it can slide back. But if I can find a way, that's why I put my rook there in part, and it's just an open file. Then, of course, the queen would be absolutely pinned to the king, and you lose on the spot. Also, when these pawns start pushing, I mean, it's the right thing to do. But very few, including myself, are good enough at this level to consistently use our pawns correctly and defend. General rule, if you don't know how to defend when they just start pushing their pawns aimlessly, he doesn't have a plan. And it showed later in the game when he proved his incompetence very clearly. Just don't let the file open. And if you do have to let the file open, make the opponent be the one to instigate the file opening. What do I mean by that if you didn't follow? If I take, I instigated it. The opponent wants to open a file. The opponent will be the one making the move, usually, if my king is under attack, which is a minor attack. Now, these are general rules, but online, at this level, and this is a pretty decent level, you don't have to make exceptions often. And the overarching rule, which I just described when I'm under attack, make the enemy be the one to open up the file. Make the opponent decide anything. Anytime there's a decision and you're not positive, online, especially when it's early, because why mess up a game? Make the opponent do it. Make the opponent be the one to commit pawns, especially with pawns. Because usually they'll mess it up. If you don't see it, what they should do, and you have time to look, and you can tell they're thinking, and of course you should be thinking from your opponent's perspective somewhat as well. Over the board, I even like to walk around my opponent, freaks them out, but I need to see what they're seeing from their perspective. But they're probably about to mess something up. And you can tell when they're not very good because they are only going for this and they can't even see anything. They're just doing it to make my king feel unsafe. They don't even know why. They're going to give me a rook for no attack. Which again begs the question, how on earth did you get this rating? Does that give the advantage back? I knew it wasn't the best move. See, I'm used to winning online games. You could look at my games, and if somebody like Levy Rosman or a streamer that looks at some smaller accounts, which Levy gave me a shout out, I'd be grateful. Big fan. They would look at my games and say, what is Dayton doing? He's always making these mistakes. A lot of my over-the-board games, I don't, not as often at least. But you look at the enemy, how they've reacted, and that's my repertoire. Which is why if I get a legitimate coach or if I just focus over the board, because they know what they're doing in St. Louis, Missouri here, I'll be lethal. Because for a while, I really studied Grandmaster games. I studied games of history, like Kasparov's. I forget who it was. I think it was against Topalov, where the kings just ran all over the place. I think that's who it was. It might be. I don't know if it's called the Immortal Game. I don't want to misspeak. But when you look at the best, of course, that means they're making exceptions to rules. Every now and then not castling, leaving a piece undeveloped for some specific reason till very late in the game. But then it's in your head, like, what if I could do that? When should I apply that in my game? The answer is probably never, because I've played much worse when I've watched top-level chess, even in the week before a big game. It's also when a lot of my losses come to lower-level players, or lower than me, I should say. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, what would Magnus Carlsen do in this situation? Oh, I remember the first thing Magnus tried. That was really smart of him, and I bet I can do the same thing. Sure enough, Magnus completed the full game and the full idea. I just remember the first couple moves and what he was trying to do. Also why it's imperative to not over, because then our rating goes back down. We play bad opponents, develop more bad habits that we've already should have fixed. And very, very good move by me. That's a crucial move. There's usually one or two moves. Many mistakes on both sides, you can see. That was the move I had to make. And now it's over. Tactically win the pawn. See, what I was seeing, and it doesn't matter much, is there, of course, there. Oh no, I didn't even think about that. I just noticed my bishop was saying, "See, I'm tired." And of course, I'll be winning the rook, so that was silly of me. Terrible. Again, I just played too much, and I've been building my rating back up after insomnia chess and whatnot. Bishop e7. Oh, that's what I did. That's not it. Yeah. Smooth. It's good enough. It's smooth. And now I probably just traded him. But it doesn't matter. You traded him anyway. Who cares? Robot. Two things, then we'll close this down. One, I would love to see a BetaBot coach guy / chess engine give feedback based on the individual's skill level. Some things, oh man, that's the wrong move. It's like, but at that level, was it that bad? That could really help avoid some of those problems I was mentioning, such as playing down to the opponent's level or having to build our rating back up and we develop bad habits. It's like, okay, but for this level, was that a fine move? Robot. The second point, never ever accuse anyone of cheating ever or anything of that nature. And if you do, have the guts to put your face on it and be specific and give a name, and ideally go behind the scenes first. I've said some things that might seem mean. I opened a ticket. I followed Walmart's open door policy during COVID lockdown while they preach well-being, mental health, we create American jobs, etc. And they harassed my family. Okay? You shouldn't have closed that ticket. There was your warning, and I'm being reasonable, and now I'm not anymore. And then another obvious case is the Hans Niemann defamation. But you look at my games. I mean, my last couple have been better because I've got my dog from daycare. I've been trying to space them out just a little bit, and I've been playing in a better environment, mainly not my car. But before that, I mean, it's sloppy as heck because I know I'm going to beat these idiots. Just distracted, trading pieces. And now I'm going to have to wake up because 1900, 2000 is a little different. But that doesn't mean I'm cheating. It means I was distracted. I wasn't sleeping. Maybe, I'm not usually at a bar. Maybe I was at a bar talking to people. I just want to play a game of chess. That doesn't mean I'm cheating. Because I'm locked in. I'm well over a 2,000 player, and you're going to see that.